No, it's not the ending or even the lack thereof. I'm not even going there. It's been talked to death. No, it's not the political insertions you easily miss when you, hey, get this, watch the movie as intended, nor is it the fact that these filmmakers looked at the deleted scenes folder on the future Blu-ray disc and said, yeah, we're just going to keep that bin empty. What I want to talk about is something that actively bothers me. Major spoilers, by the way, Albert. Unless you don't care, in which case, feel free to watch, my guy. What actively bothers me is a piece of supposed lore from across the Spider-Verse. However, the way in which it bothers me, well, let's call it Schrodinger's plot hole. I call it Schrodinger's plot hole because this plot element has the potential to become something justified and explained, and it has the potential to remain a genuine flaw in the narrative, depending on how the next movie pans out and opens that box. So, the thing that bothers me is the nature of so-called canon events. As I write this, and actually as I record this, I am fresh out of the theater from the second viewing of Across the Spider-Verse, the first time in a long time, possibly ever, that I've seen a new movie twice in the theaters. Because it is that good. Don't worry, I love this movie. I just have some questions.
But I ask questions.
After the second viewing, I noticed the term canon used first by Miguel in the Museum of Modern Art fight.
No further anomalies. Canon remains intact.
Then later in Mumbattan when Lila warns Gwen about the upcoming canon event.
Gwen, heads up. Markers are predicting an incoming canon event, so tread carefully. I'm on it.
When I saw it for the first time, it was only when the canon event was announced disrupted did I notice the term. So it just goes to show how much one can miss upon first viewing. Later, we get the explanation for these moments in the Spider-Men's lives. They're simply necessary for the consistency of the Spider-Man story and thus the stability of that Spider multiverse. Every Spider thing has an Uncle Ben-shaped hole in their heart that needs to be carved out if their story, and by proxy their existence, is to be fleshed out. The death of Uncle Ben must be canon in order to realize that story, along with many other Spider chapters that apparently cannot be avoided. So naturally, it would suck if you, at age 15, are being told that,
Hey, you're gonna have to let your father die. It's really gonna help you grow as a person.
because you're not going to accept that. That is why you would fight with everything in your power to stop a bad thing from happening, because, as a superhero, that is just what you do. Miles is more concerned with being a true hero than he is with curating a social club for people with the same trauma. Still, on the other side, Miguel O'Hara has a point about the danger of disrupting the canon. That is if he's telling the truth. And that right there, that is my problem. I don't think Miguel O'Hara is a liar, but...
You see, these things, they bother me.
And this is the only way, through my own headcanon, can I reconcile this issue. See, what Miguel tells us is that these canon events must occur, or else the entire universe that Spider-Man is based in will collapse into nothing. If Uncle Ben didn't die, the canon would be disrupted and there'd be a severance of connection with the rest of the Spider people, perhaps even an entire collapse even of these universes. That said, I have a few questions. 1. The only evidence Miguel gives us that messing with the canon will lead to collapse is when he takes the place of another Miguel's life, after that Miguel dies. It's explained that because of this action, this living in his place, the whole web of that world fell apart. However, the explanation for when a Spider world would fall apart is only when Spider story beats are not fulfilled. Miguel O'Hara as a dad was not relevant to that Spider-Man story. So why would stepping in to replace him cause collapse if Miguel doesn't affect the actual canonical story beats of that Spider-Man? Something is not adding up. 2. If the mere presence of an interdimensional anomaly is enough to cause collapse, why didn't the persistent corpse of the Earth-42 spider doom the universe we know and love into nothing? The poor thing's been hung up in Spot's temporary lab as taxidermy, which means the otherworldly spider's atoms have been jamming in another dimension for over 16 months with no negative side effects to that dimension. 3. If Earth-42 was supposed to have a Spider-Man, thus supposed to have the standard Spider-Man story beats, why does that dimension still exist? There are no Spider-Man story beats to be made in this dimension. There is no Spider-Man! there's no Uncle Ben, there's no Captain Stacy, and there is no Queen of England. Yet, the dimension continues to exist. 4, and that's the other overarching problem. Certain dimensional beings can affect other dimensions without breaking those worlds. And I don't just mean existing, I mean directly changing the trajectory of individual lives. The Alchemax from Our Miles universe summoned the Earth-42 spider, changing the course of Miles' life. Peter B gets over his fear of having children after mentoring a kid from another dimension who inspires him, leading to the reconciliation of Peter and MJ and the making of their daughter Mayday. That world's still intact. Or how about the way the Spot causes major destruction in Mumbattan? I'm talking at least 11 9/11s with this big-ass building that falls onto other buildings. Does this break the canon of Prabhakar's dimension? Nope. It triggers a canon event. It causes it. And that's the other thing. 5. If an otherworldly being can trigger canon events without collapse, why would another otherworldly being disrupting the manifestation of that event cause the collapse? These two actions would cancel each other out, wouldn't they? 6. Even if Inspector Singh is supposed to die for Prabhakar's character arc, who's to say that this event can't be triggered again later? Because if the canon events can't be manifested later, why is the multiverse maker, storyteller, whatever, why is that thing so fickle? Why can't the author or whatever of these webs adapt to the problem and make it work later? Is this the Amazing Spider-Man or the Amazing Adjustment Bureau? In conclusion, Your Honor, with all of this in mind, I can only see two possible explanations for these inconsistencies. Either Spider-Man 2099 is providing unreliable information and is therefore lying about the true consequences and about other things that could be revealed in the final installment, or Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse has an irreconcilably stupid plot hole. I guess we'll see when March rolls around again. Have a good day.